3 months ago, I received a phone call that changed everything. It was from Robert, a 79-year-old retired teacher from Maine who had been my patient for nearly 15 years. His voice was shaky as he said, "Doctor, I can barely get out of bed anymore. My knees feel like they're filled with glass, and my back screams every time I try to stand up." The silence that followed was heartbreaking. This was a man who once hiked every weekend, who taught high school biology with passion and energy. Robert's struggle reminded me why I dedicated my career to helping older adults live their best lives. But it also led me on an unexpected journey to rural Japan, where I discovered something extraordinary. In the remote mountain villages of Nagano and the coastal towns of Shizuoka, I met elders in their 80s and 90s who moved with a grace that seemed impossible. They climbed steep paths to mountain shrines, worked in their gardens for hours, and danced at local festivals with joints that appeared decades younger than their years. Their secret wasn't expensive treatments or cutting-edge surgery. It was an ancient understanding of joint health that goes far beyond what we typically consider in Western medicine. Today I want to share with you 6 traditional Japanese approaches to maintaining flexible joints and strong mobility that have been protecting elders for over 1,000 years. These aren't complicated remedies, they're gentle, natural methods that work harmoniously with your body's own healing abilities. Before we begin this journey together, I'd love to know where you're watching from today and what specific joint concerns brought you here. Please share in the comments below. Your stories guide my work, and I genuinely read every single one. And if you find value in what we explore today, please subscribe to Elderly Wellness Tips so we can continue learning together. The hidden truth about joint pain and aging. Most people believe joint pain is simply an inevitable part of getting older. They think cartilage wears down like old tires, inflammation takes hold, and there's nothing to do but manage the discomfort with medication. But what I discovered in Japan challenged everything I thought I knew about aging joints. Your joints are not passive structures that simply deteriorate over time. They are dynamic, living systems capable of repair, renewal, and remarkable resilience, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The key is understanding what they need to thrive and what might be preventing them from healing naturally. In Japanese traditional medicine, joint health is viewed through the lens of energy flow, circulation, and what they call body harmony. They understand that joint pain rarely exists in isolation. It's connected to digestion, stress levels, sleep quality, and the delicate balance of inflammation and healing throughout your entire system. During my time in Kyoto, I met Dr. Tanaka, a traditional medicine practitioner who was 84 years old herself. She moved with fluid grace, her hands showing no signs of arthritis despite decades of precise acupuncture work. When I asked about her remarkable mobility, she smiled and said something profound. "In the West, you fix broken parts. In Japan, we strengthen the whole garden so every flower can bloom." This holistic approach means that Japanese joint care doesn't just target pain, it supports the entire ecosystem that keeps your joints healthy, lubricated, and mobile. It's about creating conditions where your body's natural healing mechanisms can work optimally. The Japanese philosophy, gentle strength through daily practice. Japanese culture has always embraced the concept of kaizen, continuous small improvements that create profound changes over time. This philosophy is perfectly suited to joint health, where dramatic interventions often fail, but gentle, consistent practices can create remarkable transformations. Unlike the Western approach of waiting until joints are severely damaged before taking action, Japanese wellness traditions focus on prevention and early intervention. They use food, movement, heat therapy, and mindfulness practices to maintain joint health throughout life, treating these practices not as medicine but as natural parts of daily living. In the mountain village of Shirakawa-go, I stayed with the Yamada family, where 3 generations lived together in a traditional farmhouse. The grandmother, 93-year-old Obata-san Yamada, still prepared elaborate meals, tended her vegetable garden, and walked up the steep village paths daily. Her secret wasn't any single practice but a lifestyle woven from centuries of wisdom about how to age gracefully. Every morning she began with gentle stretching movements called Ragio Taizo, radio exercises that millions of Japanese practice daily. Her meals included warming spices, mineral-rich seaweeds, and foods that support circulation. She took daily hot baths with natural salts and herbs. Most importantly, she moved constantly throughout the day in gentle, purposeful ways that kept her joints lubricated and flexible. What struck me most was how these practices were integrated seamlessly into daily life. There was no struggle, no forcing herself through painful exercises. Just natural, flowing movements and nourishing practices that supported her body's inherent wisdom. Let me share with you 6 Japanese approaches that form the foundation of this gentle but powerful system. Japanese Joint Method 1. Onsen Therapy. The healing power of mineral hot springs. Japan sits on one of the most geologically active regions on Earth, blessed with over 3,000 natural hot springs called onsen. For centuries, Japanese people have understood that these mineral-rich waters possess remarkable healing properties, particularly for joint pain and stiffness. Onsen therapy isn't just about soaking in hot water, though the heat itself provides significant benefits by improving circulation and relaxing tense muscles. The real magic lies in the unique mineral composition of each spring. Some are rich in sulfur, which reduces inflammation and supports cartilage health. Others contain high levels of magnesium and calcium, which are absorbed through the skin to support bone and joint function. The temperature of onsen water, typically maintained between 104 to 108 degrees Fahrenheit, creates a natural form of heat therapy that penetrates deep into tissues. This heat increases blood flow to joints, bringing fresh nutrients and oxygen, while helping remove inflammatory waste products that contribute to pain and stiffness. I'll never forget my visit to Kusatsu Onsen, one of Japan's most famous hot spring resorts. There I met Sato-san, an 87-year-old man who had been visiting the springs 3 times a week for 20 years. Despite a history of severe arthritis, he moved with surprising ease and credited his mobility entirely to consistent onsen therapy. "The mountain gives us medicine through the water," he explained as we soaked together in the mineral-rich pool. "My doctor said I would need surgery, but the onsen healed what the pills could not." His hands, which had once been gnarled with arthritis, showed remarkable flexibility and strength. The traditional onsen experience follows specific protocols that maximize therapeutic benefits. Visitors first cleanse thoroughly, then enter the hot water gradually, allowing their body to adjust to the temperature. The recommended soaking time is typically 10 to 15 minutes, followed by a cool rinse and rest period. This cycle may be repeated several times during a visit. While most of us don't have access to authentic mineral hot springs, you can create similar benefits at home. Add Epsom salts, rich in magnesium, to a hot bath. Include sea salt for trace minerals. Some people add a small amount of baking soda to create a more alkaline environment that may help reduce inflammation. The key is consistency. Regular hot baths with mineral salts can provide cumulative benefits for joint health. Japanese Joint Method 2. Shiatsu Self-Massage for Joint Mobility. Shiatsu, which literally means finger pressure, is a form of therapeutic massage that originated in Japan and has been used for centuries to maintain joint health and overall wellness. Unlike Western massage, which often focuses on muscle manipulation, Shiatsu works with the body's energy channels to promote natural healing and restore balance. The beauty of Shiatsu for joint health lies in its gentleness and accessibility. You don't need special equipment or professional training to benefit from basic Shiatsu techniques. The practice involves applying steady, gentle pressure to specific points around joints, combined with simple stretching and rotation movements that help maintain flexibility and range of motion. Traditional shiatsu theory recognizes that joint stiffness often results from blocked energy flow and poor circulation. By applying pressure to specific points and gently moving joints through their natural range of motion, shiatsu helps restore normal circulation, reduce inflammation, and maintain the lubrication that keeps joints moving smoothly. During my time in Tokyo, I learned shiatsu techniques from Master Kobayashi, a 78-year-old practitioner who had been teaching for over 50 years. Despite his age and decades of physical work, his hands were strong and flexible, his posture erect. He demonstrated simple self-shiatsu techniques that anyone could practice at home. Every morning, I greet each joint in my body, he explained, showing me how to gently rotate wrists, ankles, and shoulders while applying light pressure to key points. I thank them for their service and prepare them for the day ahead. This conversation between mind and body keeps everything working harmoniously. One of the most effective self-shiatsu techniques for joint health involves what the Japanese call joint greeting. Starting with your fingers and toes, you gently rotate each joint while breathing deeply and focusing your attention on the sensation of movement. This practice not only maintains physical flexibility, but also strengthens the mind-body connection that supports natural healing. For knee health, a simple shiatsu technique involves sitting comfortably and placing your hands on either side of the kneecap. Apply gentle, steady pressure while slowly bending and straightening the leg. This helps stimulate circulation around the joint and can reduce morning stiffness. The key to effective self-shiatsu is regularity rather than intensity. 5 to 10 minutes of gentle joint movements and pressure point stimulation each morning can create significant improvements in flexibility and comfort over time. Japanese Joint Method 3. Zen walking for joint lubrication. In Zen monasteries throughout Japan, walking meditation called kinhin is practiced as both a spiritual discipline and a form of physical therapy. This slow, mindful walking naturally lubricates joints, improves balance, and strengthens the muscles that support healthy posture and movement. Zen walking is fundamentally different from Western exercise approaches. Instead of pursuing intensity or speed, practitioners focus on awareness, balance, and the quality of each step. This mindful attention to movement creates optimal conditions for joint health by promoting proper alignment, even weight distribution, and smooth, coordinated motion. The practice typically involves walking very slowly, so slowly that each step takes several seconds to complete. This deliberate pace allows you to pay careful attention to how your feet contact the ground, how your weight shifts from one leg to the other, and how your entire body coordinates to maintain balance and forward motion. At Aihiji Temple in Fukui Prefecture, I walked with the monks during their daily kinhin practice. The head monk, who was 79 years old, moved with perfect posture and fluid grace despite walking for hours each day on hard wooden floors. His secret was this practice of conscious meditative walking that he had maintained for over 50 years. Another powerful exercise is wave hands like clouds, which involves shifting weight from one foot to the other while rotating the torso and moving the arms in flowing circular patterns. This movement gently exercises the ankles, knees, hips, spine, and shoulders all at once. The beauty of these exercises is their adaptability. They can be performed standing or sitting, with large or small movements depending on your current ability level. The focus is always on quality of movement rather than quantity, making them perfect for people dealing with joint limitations. Japanese Joint Method 5. Nutritional wisdom for joint support. Japanese cuisine has always been built around the principle that food is medicine, and this philosophy extends naturally to joint health. Traditional Japanese foods provide specific nutrients that support cartilage repair, reduce inflammation, and maintain the flexibility and strength needed for healthy joints. Green tea, consumed throughout the day in small amounts, provides powerful antioxidants called catechins that help protect joints from inflammation and oxidative damage. The ritual of tea preparation and consumption also promotes mindfulness and stress reduction, both important factors in managing chronic pain. Fish, particularly small fish eaten whole, provide omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation, along with calcium and other minerals that support bone health. Sardines, mackerel, and salmon are particularly beneficial when prepared with traditional Japanese seasonings like ginger and miso that have additional anti-inflammatory properties. Fermented foods like miso, natto, and various pickled vegetables support gut health, which is increasingly recognized as crucial for managing inflammation throughout the body, including in joints. These foods also provide probiotics that may help the body absorb nutrients more effectively. During my stay in Okinawa, I learned about the traditional practice of eating small amounts of bitter melon, turmeric, and other anti-inflammatory foods daily. The Okinawan elders I met had remarkably low rates of arthritis and joint problems, which they attributed to their traditional diet and active lifestyle. One particularly interesting discovery was the widespread use of shiitake mushrooms, which contain compounds that support immune function and may help regulate the inflammatory processes that affect joint health. These mushrooms are often combined with seaweed in soups and broths that provide minerals and nutrients specifically beneficial for bone and cartilage health. Japanese Joint Method 6. Forest bathing for stress relief and healing. The Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, involves spending time in natural forest environments in a mindful, meditative way. While this might seem unrelated to joint health, research has shown that forest bathing provides significant benefits for managing chronic pain and supporting the body's natural healing processes. Forests naturally produce compounds called phytoncids, which have anti-inflammatory and stress-reducing effects when inhaled. Spending time among trees also lowers cortisol levels, reduces blood pressure, and promotes the relaxation response that supports healing and repair throughout the body. The practice involves more than just walking in the woods. Forest bathers move slowly and deliberately, engaging all their senses to connect deeply with the natural environment. They might sit quietly beside a stream, breathe deeply while leaning against a tree, or practice gentle stretching movements in a peaceful grove. In the forests near Mount Fuji, I experienced Shinrin-yoku with Dr. Miyazaki, a researcher who has spent decades studying the health benefits of forest environments. At 72, he moved through the forest with remarkable agility and credited his joint health partly to weekly forest bathing sessions. The forest teaches us how to move naturally, he explained as we walked slowly along a moss-covered path. Trees bend but don't break. Water flows around obstacles instead of fighting them. When we learn these lessons, our bodies remember how to move without pain. The stress reduction benefits of forest bathing are particularly important for joint health because chronic stress contributes to inflammation and pain sensitivity. By regularly engaging in this peaceful practice, many people find their overall pain levels decrease and their tolerance for daily activities improves. Even if you don't have access to deep forests, spending time in any natural environment, parks, gardens, or even tree-lined streets can provide similar benefits when approached with the mindful, meditative attitude of Shinrin-yoku, bringing Japanese wisdom to your daily life. The 6 Japanese approaches we've explored today offer a complete system for supporting joint health and mobility as you age. Unlike quick fixes or temporary solutions, these practices work by supporting your body's natural healing abilities and creating conditions where joints can remain healthy and flexible for years to come. What makes these methods so powerful is their integration into daily life. They're not separate medical treatments, but natural practices that enhance your overall quality of life while specifically supporting joint health. A morning hot bath with mineral salts, gentle self-massage while watching television, mindful walking in your neighborhood, flowing movements in your living room, nourishing meals that happen to be anti-inflammatory, and peaceful time in nature. Robert, the patient whose struggles began this journey, has been incorporating several of these Japanese practices into his daily routine. He starts each morning with gentle joint rotations and self-massage, takes regular hot baths with Epsom salts, and practices slow, mindful walking in his local park. 6 months later, he called to tell me he was planning a camping trip, something he hadn't thought possible since his joint pain began. The transformation wasn't dramatic or overnight. It was the gradual, sustainable improvement that comes from consistent, gentle practices that work with your body rather than against it. Small daily choices that honor your joints and support their natural ability to heal and adapt. Your joints have carried you through decades of life, and with proper care and attention, they can continue to serve you well for many years to come. They respond to kindness, consistency, and the gentle wisdom that Japanese elders have practiced for generations. Which of these Japanese approaches resonates most with you? Have you tried any similar practices before, or is there one you'd like to start with this week? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your journey inspires others and helps build our community of healthy aging. And if you've found value in these ancient Japanese secrets, please subscribe to Elderly Wellness Tips. Together, we can explore more ways to age with strength, flexibility, and joy. Your joints and your future self will thank you for every gentle step you take today.